Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about I didn't know my own strength. So sometimes we don't have confidence in ourselves, in our ability to do life or to do a good job with life. And we can be afraid to try something new or um, to feel positive about the things that we're going to do. And sometimes we need to reframe it or to look at it a bit differently or to see, is there a better way that we could do it, or is it possible to do things maybe in a modified way? So sometimes we need to look at actually how far we've climbed up the mountain and not just look at how far we have to go. And sometimes we just have some awful things that we have had to endure in our life. Some people have loss of people, loss of job, loss of relationships, loss of health, loss of friendships. All these things can really create havoc in our ability to feel that we can do life, or that we can actually get through it. And sometimes we don't feel like we can. Good morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, so sometimes you don't know how strong you are until you get tried, and until you're in the throes of, going through something that's difficult. You just don't know how you're going to manage. So, all right, so let's go into our solar plexus chakra, which is about, our feeling of power, or feeling the ability to go and do stuff. And sometimes we ask the question, if we knew we couldn't fail, what would we have a go at? And what comes up is our gallbladder in the solar plexus chakra. And digestive problems. And the affirmation, I no longer rely on other people's opinions of me. And, some people might have opinions about an aspect of our life, but they don't know our whole life, and they don't know what we have endured or are enduring, or what we're capable of enduring and getting through. Good morning, Jenny. So it's like increasing in our capacity to have a go at things, and increasing in our capacity to try and to feel that, even if we can't do something immediately, easily, that it's worth to pursue. All right, I am enough. Sometimes we don't think we are. So often we can tell where the energy is stuck by where we have like pain or discomfort or dis-ease in our body. So is there anywhere in your body that's complaining or telling you that the energy is stuck? Another affirmation, I'm worthy because I exist. Of recent times, Elizabeth says her eyes. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. All right, and sinus, okay. An affirmation, I am fitting in. Okay, Jenny says lower back and right hip. Okay, thank you, everybody. All right, is there an aspect of your life where you feel like you're not fitting in, you're not belonging? And sometimes we want to belong in a group, but maybe they're not really our people. All right, so reacting to feelings. All right, the feeling that you're in the wrong place could be like the wrong job, the wrong city, the wrong relationship, the wrong suburb, I don't know, the wrong something doesn't feel right. Let's go into the brow chakra now. All right, so feeling overwhelmed and rigid thoughts or beliefs. So sometimes we get very stuck. And I think as our body gets stuck, we become stiff and immovable. So it's like physically, it represents how we're thinking. And the brow chakra is to do with sinus and eyes. So the helichrysum oil comes up. All right, this is from Kim Redmond Futural's book about essential oil affirmations. And she said, I endure with strength to live on despite my past difficulties. My ability to persevere through these physical difficulties enables my spirit to progress to higher levels of consciousness. All right, I'm willing to learn. Oh, good morning, Susanna. I'm willing to learn from everyone and everything, from my successes and my mistakes. All right, you needed that one. Okay, thanks, Cassie. All right. Yeah, and I guess sometimes we can feel very victimy, I think, when we have things that go wrong and that it's not how we wanted it, it's not the picture we wanted, it's not the life we wanted. It's not how we hoped it would be, but often it's like as we put out our desires to the universe, it's like these are the things preventing us from having what we wanted. So it's like they're clues. Sometimes we don't want to hear the clues, but they're clues nonetheless. All right, I easily connect to my spirit because I think that there's that idea that, we are spiritual beings, physical experience, and the physical experience is the fastest way to learn. Open to new ideas, experiences, and people to enhance my happiness and knowledge. So we're learning through our body, we're learning through other people, we're learning through our relationships, we're learning through our interactions with people. I choose to be happy and balanced. I easily cut through any illusion and find the truth. All right, stuff in our mind. Okay. All right. The mouth is coming up as well, represents taking in of new ideas and nourishment, set opinions. Yeah. So are we stuck in a certain way of thinking or a certain, maybe fencing ourselves into only a limited perspective of who we are and what we can do and what we're able of having a go at? All right, something else in our mind. All right, so trust. Oh, good morning, Margaret. All right, to trust ourselves, our true selves, is to see the difference between our divine nature and our ego. We are not our myriad of thoughts telling us that we're ugly and incapable, that the world is scary and unfriendly. We are the observer of those thoughts. Trust more in the observer than the ego. So the world is our mirror, and our lens of trust will change our experience. All right. I trust my intuition with unwavering security. As I choose to put my trust in others, I trust my feelings, follow promptings, and act accordingly. And I guess people have to earn our trust, don't they? Bit by bit, action by action. I trust my body's ability to return to full health. And this is a funny one, but for those of you that like doing energy clearing, I trust my muscle testing. So sometimes if we're not in a good headspace, we don't trust, and it's hard to get yourself back into trust mode. So that's got a generational component to it from dad's side, dad's dad, and the men on that side of the family, like 33 generations of men. And some stuck emotions in our genes. And what comes up is not being able to control yourself. And I think we all have areas in which we may lack control. You know, sometimes it's scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, or sometimes it's, you know, eating more than we need to, or sometimes it's about staying up late because we don't really want to face the next day. So it's kind of like avoiding going to sleep because you're going to wake up the next day. All right, so let's go into our heart chakra now. It's safe to be loved. My relationships are peaceful and balanced. Elizabeth said you can relate to all three at some stage. Yeah. Yes, we all have, you know, our things that we are obsessed about, isn't it? Good morning, Bev. All right, I no longer need to earn love. I love those who need forgiving for not being what I needed them to be or that I wanted them to be. Love is everywhere, and I allow myself to experience it. So, for those that just jumped on, where in your body or your mind or your energy field is complaining? We've had lower back, hips, sinuses, and eyes so far. All right. And is there somebody you want to dedicate to? Hiding in the hip is not wanting to accept present experiences. So, what is it that's happening in your life that you are having trouble accepting? All right, now throat chakra comes up. So, often avoiding the truth or facing painful facts. And I was discussing with somebody the other day being an obliger. So, an obliger is a person that's externally motivated. They want to make other people happy and often have the desire to do things themselves. But as soon as someone else needs them, they will give up their desires to help somebody else. And so then, of course, they get cranky that they didn't do their exercise or whatever they committed to do. So as opposed to a rebel that doesn't want to be told, or a questioner that's going to question everything, or an upholder that, can decide things and is internally motivated and, you know, doesn't let the external things stop them from getting things done. So, in being an obliger, you often have to put things in place where you have to be answering to someone so that you're not going to let that person down. So, whether um, commit to a class or you pay money to a class so that you have to show up, or whether you, um, exercise with a friend and you don't want to let them down. So you're more willing to go and exercise even when you might chuck it in yourself for somebody else. So uh, this person was seeing that as being a failure, but it's a failure. It's like knowing who you are and knowing the things that you struggle with and knowing how to get around yourself. And guilt-free. It's like, I just know that's how I am, and, I have to accept that. So what parts of you do you have trouble accepting, and what parts of you do you, feel are, kinda hard to live with, but just sort of knowing how to navigate yourself? And if we say, "Why do I so easily navigate myself?" It's like, no, something from age 7. Age 12, age 18, 22. All right, so there's different times in our life that perhaps other people have forced us to do things or encouraged us to do things that maybe we weren't quite ready. All right, so Jenny says my procrastinating self. Okay, yes. And is procrastination really just fear of fear of failure? That if I don't have a go, I won't fail. See self, yeah. Yeah. And fear of failure is a big thing. Yeah. And some people just don't want to try because they're scared of failure. But I guess, you know, when we learned to walk, we fell down a lot. When we learned to be toilet trained, we pooped a lot in our pants. And, this is how we learn, by making mistakes, by, um, I guess, turning our failures into strengths, and our ability to keep trying, even if it doesn't look perfect, is really what helps us to get stronger. Um, so if I talk about the gym, there are some things that I never thought I could do ever. Um, so for example, if you hang on a bar and pull yourself up, I still can't do it just like that. But they have an elasticized strap that you can stand on, and then that helps you because you don't have to pull your entire body weight up, and so you can start to get a little bit stronger and see some progress. So yeah, I can't do it exactly how other people might, but I can do a modified version, and that modified version has got easier over time, and my ability to do it has got better. Didn't happen in one go, it took lots and lots of goes. And, I'm happy to see the progress, and I didn't think I could ever do anything like that. So, and there are other exercises like that too that I didn't think I could do. And at the beginning I couldn't, but, slowly, 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 repetition by repetition, you can improve. And there's always, at the gym, they've always got an easier version. If you can't do that version, they always make you another version until you can. So, and I think we kind of have to be kind to ourselves that way. If we can't do it the way we want to originally, how else can I do that? How can I modify that so that I can do it? Right, so under the stressy self comes a little bit of generational baggage from mum's mum and the women on that side of the family. So, we can have a tendency to go into stress, and we can also have that tendency to feel like this would be me, like to feel like I'm going to get in trouble. I hate getting in trouble. So it's like trying to avoid conflict or trying to avoid um, being criticized. Whereas sometimes, a little bit of constructive criticism can help us make great change. All right, so and spikenard oil comes in. So spikenard oil is about gratitude and gratitude for our problems. So it's like if we didn't have the problem, we wouldn't grow. So it's like, and again, we talked about, where is the energy stuck? Well, sometimes it's stuck, in the places where we feel it's not functioning well. So if we look at our problems and we can say, all right, what have I learned from this problem? What have I learned that I couldn't learn any other way? And let's say it's safe to be successful because it doesn't feel safe. So age 7 again. So where were you? What you were you doing when you were 7? And also age 18. And some stuck emotions. All right, feeling frustrated at inability to impart knowledge. So sometimes we can understand things about ourselves or about other people, but not always do other people want to listen or engage. Or sometimes our parents didn't believe that we had that knowledge about ourselves. They thought they knew better. And in some cases they did, and in some cases they didn't. And we know it's our job to learn to know ourselves and what works for us. And, if you have children or even if you have pets, you know that you can't do the same approach with each one. Each has their own way of uh, being coaxed into doing things or encouraged. Some people just will jack up instantly and you can't make them. And you might have to leave whatever it is open for when they might choose to do it. And then other people need encouragement all the way, or you need to hold their hand the whole way. It's like just working out what you need and the way to meet your own needs. Good morning, Tabitha. All right, so now we're going to go into the 10th chakra. All right, so 10th chakra is about contentment and satisfaction and, feeling whole, like incorporating all the things that happen in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and learning from all of them. So racing around trying to fit everything into life. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that one. And sometimes we feel like we have to go faster, but there was a one of our church leaders, Dieter Uchtdorf, and he was a pilot, and he would relate everything to planes. And so he talked about when there was turbulence, he said, you can't just go faster through the turbulence, you actually have to slow down. And so when we're experiencing turbulence in our life, we can't go faster. We kind of have to pull back, go a bit slower and steadier to be able to get through the turbulence. So the hole that we can fall in there is, what do we let go of? And it makes me think of is it Marie Kondo that the declutter? So it's kind of like decluttering the things that are not bringing us joy. Yeah. So a balance of rest and play. I'm grateful for my senses through which I enjoy my journey. Or experience my journey. So sometimes the experiences we have aren't easy, they're not what we wanted, but we learned a lot. All right, life is easy for me. Doesn't always feel that way. So generational patterns here, dad's side, dad's dad, and the women, 17 generations of women. All right, layers of the aura. So the fourth layer. Which is the astral body. So interactions, relationships, and bonds. So leaking energy. Females from the past. So age 16, so who was a female from your past that perhaps damaged your energy field a little? Okay, so big breath in and out just to shift the energy a bit there. So we're going into the meridian system. So kidney meridian. Right, so the feeling of impending doom. Is there something that you have this impending doom feeling about? Is it about yourself or about the world or about our experiences? And the oil that you might use if you have that impending doom is geranium. Geranium is the oil of love and trust. And I have to come back a lot and remind myself that I chose to come to Earth now and chose to be here in this part of the war, and that I felt that I could make a difference. And even if it's just to one person, that makes a difference. All right, I restore my trust of life and reconnect to its natural rhythms. All right, I relax my mind, calm my agitation, and ease my frustration and irritability. I'm non-reactive and mindfully present. Elizabeth says, geranium is my favorite. I use it all the time. That's great. I think it's an important oil to use to learn to love and to trust. I reconnect myself to my feeling life, to my emotional sensitivity, to my relaxed spontaneity, and to my healthy thirst for pleasure and enjoyment of life. Yeah, sometimes we forget to have fun. Sometimes we forget how to have fun. So many people say that to me. So it's like an experiment then of what, when you do something, do you love it or is it just something you do? So it's learning to find things that you love. All right, so C1 is reacting to our feelings. It hurts where love is concerned. And I guess the people close to us are the people that can hurt us, isn't it? Because they know how to push our buttons and they know how to trigger us. So now we're going into the fifth layer of the aura, which is the etheric template, which is the master copy of the physical body. So we need that to be whole. All right, so chronic collapse of that layer. So present situation. And some stuck emotions. Fears that something bad or dark is living inside that you have no control over. So I guess I know for myself that if I get too compressed time-wise, that then I tend to go more into depression. So it's like if I haven't had space to just be free or to relax or to earth myself or to ground or just to even, reduce the pressure, then that's what happens. So it's like, and then, the parts of me that I don't like, I can see. But I guess it's putting all your ducks in a row to be able to be your best self, which is easy for me to say, but it's not always easy to do. And so sometimes when we are almost addicted to keeping ourselves too busy or, not giving ourselves space or time or um, meditation or pondering time, it's like we can let entities in. So we can have darkness within us that's not us. So it's, I guess it's like even a match is stronger than the dark, isn't it? One match light will help with the darkness. So it's like allowing light into your life and allowing light into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit helps change when we feel that darkness. So whether you have a piece of music that's uplifting that you play over and over again until you help shift that darkness, whether you have a poem that you read or a picture that you look at or a clip that you watch, something that you keep handy when you feel that darkness. And we can always say a prayer and ask Heavenly Father to, send someone to take away any entities. And we need to fill ourselves with love and with gratitude so that nothing evil will stay. And if it's part of us that we're not liking, it's like, well, why does that part of us need attention now? What are we not giving ourselves? Okay, and we're going to go into the ninth chakra. All right, So the ninth chakra is about aligning with our purpose and life's teacher, this earth school we're attending. So as this chakra begins to open, we sort of transcend time and space, and then we kind of know why we're here. So it's also the ability to give up one's own time frame and trust in a higher power. That can be hard. We want to be in control or feel like we have some control. So as this opens, we're in better touch with our intuition. So knowledge base of the soul helps awareness, but also reliance on our internal compass. Does it feel right? Does it feel right for me? All right, easily being pushed around by others to and fro, easily pulled in different directions. And we can become like that, isn't it? It's almost like chasing your tail. So silence helps. Do you allow yourself to have silence? And also saying no. This can be very hard for me. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Ella Enchanted, where she's got a spell cast on her and she has to say yes to everything. I feel like that sometimes. So it's like learning to be able to say, well, I really would like to help you with that, but if I do that, I won't be able to do what's right for my family or for me or for work. All right. And again, the spikenard oil comes up. So using that spikenard oil to get back into gratitude. I'm conscious and present in the now. So it's like, as one patient says to me, be where your feet are. My body no longer separates me from those I love. And for some people, how they feel about their body really affects their ability to go and do life and to have a go at things and not believe that they can do it right. And the need to be accepted by certain people or in certain situations really drives them, where it's not really driving it in a healthy way, it's like in an unhealthy way. And then we're ignoring our intuition and trying to please someone else. I am steadfast and immovable, for I know my life's purpose. Right, jumping up into the 11th chakra now. So this is your Akashic record. It's like all the things that have happened in your life, they're stored in your brain, but they're stored in your energy field. So what comes up here is opposition of great proportion. And I think each of you have had opposition. You've had some really difficult experiences to overcome, and maybe you're still in the throes of overcoming those difficult situations and getting through what seems like it's taken forever. So fasting comes up as a help. So there's different ways of fasting. There's like intermittent fasting, but there's also fasting for a spiritual purpose. So it's like you so we usually do it of a Sunday, but totally up to you. So Saturday night, before we go to bed after dinner, we will open a fast. So we'll say a prayer and we'll state the things that we're praying for, or we need to make decisions in, or we need in life. And we won't eat or drink anything till the next dinner. And in that time, as we suppress our body by, not eating or drinking, it enables our spirit to be stronger and to hear the message that we're sent divinely. And so when you fast or pray about a particular situation, as you take that time to listen, you will either feel confusion, which is a no, or you'll feel more calmly and strongly about what it is you're asking for. And so it's a great way to make decisions, and it's a great way to live your life when you have difficulties, or even if you have someone else in your life that's having difficulties, we would fast for them. One of my kids had appendicitis years ago, and was getting better, and then it started to go downhill again. And they said, if he didn't improve by a certain time, he's in terrible pain and hanging out for the painkillers, they would have to go in and remove part of his bowel. So we weren't very happy about that. So I messaged everyone I know to fast with me, and we fasted and prayed that particular day. And by about 4 o'clock, which was probably when we finished our fast, the pain had gone and he didn't need the painkillers anymore. So I have great faith in the power of fasting, and especially in fasting to help other people that we're concerned about, whether it's our children or our parents or, friends or other loved ones, when we have a concern, or even for ourselves, if there's something we're trying to overcome. Fasting is a very powerful way to get help. And another oil that comes up is cardamom. Thank you, Margaret, for your heart. While I'm looking that up, I'm going to do a little ad. Margaret's doing a class next week where we learn to make bath bombs and other self-care things. So they're so lovely. She prepares everything, and you go home with goodies and learn how to make them and do them yourself. So and we hang out with nice people. It's lovely. So it's just at the clinic. It's at 7 p.m. So if you want to come, send me a message, because we only have limited spaces around the table. All right. So cardamom is the oil of objectivity. So sometimes we lose perspective. So this is an affirmation. This is again from Kim Redmond Futrell's book. I cool my anger before hot-headed behaviors harm others and myself. And I have some Italian and some Dutch that can be very fiery and very stubborn. And sometimes I can cause damage when I get so angry and out of control. So it's like, using oils or using meditation, prayer, or whatever to help reduce our anger. All right, I rewrite my long history of anger or aggression. I no longer allow it to spill outward onto others. Or sometimes it spills inward to ourselves and we are aggressive and awful to ourselves. I strengthen my spleen meridian energy and step out of sluggishness. I let go of emotional distortions which have previously allowed me to treat others like objects of convenience to my will and my way of doing things. I willingly coordinate my efforts with others instead of my old habit of directing others. Interesting, isn't it? Sometimes we want to take control, make people do things our way. I feel peaceful, calm, and in control of myself, more able to assimilate the world as it is. So some generational baggage, dad's side, dad's dad, and the women again. Like 72 generations of women. And stuck emotions in the genes, which you can kind of tell when you have these feelings that are really strong and there's no conscious reason to have those feelings, then you know it's generational. Hi, Julie. All right, seething, unresolved hurt feelings. So these are generational hurt feelings. All right, so we're going now into the 12th chakra. So getting to the point of enlightenment and oneness and neutrality. So this is strengthened by uplifting music. So again, I'm not great at making a playlist, but my daughter makes herself playlists, and sometimes we need to have a playlist for being uplifting to ourselves or helping ourselves get more in the light. And I think of that song by Aria Indy, I Am Light. All right, and another oil, forgive. So, forgive oil is important, whether it's forgiving ourselves or forgiving other people for failing to be what we wanted them to be or needed them to be. So, you can use this to help let go of the things that are stuck. All right, so our next Energy Works get together will be, I think it's the 24th, Saturday the 24th. So you're welcome to come, you're welcome to bring a friend. Uh, we bring a plate of healthy food and we might laugh and cry together, or we might clear some energy, or we may listen to each other's problems. Yeah. Well, last time we did, we're working on making a vision board. So we still have some magazines and cardboard available if you'd like to do that too. All right. Any other concerns or any other places that are still complaining in your body? All right. Doesn't seem to be any response. So thank you for being on the call. Thank you for the people that jumped on. Thank you for you being you. Thank you for being willing to learn and grow. Ah, Julie says she'd love to come. Yeah, we'd love to have you. All right. Well, all the best for your day, and I believe in you, and I believe what is in your heart is important, and I believe that it's worth to try. Whatever it is you want to do, try, and even if you have to modify it, still have a go. All right. So the class is on Wednesday night. Yes, you're welcome to come. The cost is 35 at the moment. All right. Thank you very much. See you.